Hello, good evening. Welcome to a special edition of Look North, live from Headingley Stadium. Tributes have been pouring in following the death of former rugby league star Rob Burrow after a lengthy battle with motor neurone disease.
We all lose special people, but it's very, very rare you lose someone who's so special to so many different people.
His best friend and fundraiser Kevin Sinfield said Rob's memory should live forever. Today, Rob's family watched as a groundbreaking ceremony took place for a new MND centre in his name in Leeds.
I said, this is what Rob would want, and I think he'll be proud that we've pulled ourselves together and got the strength to come, and we're doing it for Lindsay and the kids.
And we'll remember Rob as a player for Leeds Rhinos, as former teammates tell us what made him so special on the pitch.
Well, it took a while, but the cloud has broken quite nicely. Some sunshine across quite a large part of our region at the moment. But what about the rest of the week? Do join me for that detailed forecast.
Hello, good evening. You only have to look around here to see how loved Rob Burrow was. All afternoon there's been a steady stream of people coming through those gates, laying flowers and cards, lighting candles and just standing quietly to reflect and remember. The legendary Rob Burrow, the legendary rugby league player who won countless trophies during his time here, but also as an inspiration further afield following that devastating diagnosis 5 years ago. He was known as the little guy on the pitch, but he became a giant for the MND community. Rob died yesterday at Pinderfields Hospital at the age of 41, surrounded by his family. Tonight we'll hear from his parents, his sisters, his friends, teammates and supporters. And we'll also look at the legacy that Rob has left behind for the thousands of MND sufferers and their families. But first tonight, let's hear from Rob himself in his own words.
Well, you know, on the pitch I'd be bossing everybody about, captain or not captain. I just looked after the lads off the pitch as well as on the pitch.
Rob Burrow, a sensational solo try.
You know, I'm really positive and intend to be throughout the journey. I'm taking it as a challenge. I don't intend to lie down, you know, when I get stuck into it.
My family as a whole who have put their life on hold to care for me, especially my beautiful wife Lindsay and my amazing kids. Lindsay did not expect to sign up for this, but she puts me first and foremost. I'm not here without her sacrifice.
Whilst I might not be able to tackle M&D, I'm not giving in right till my last breath.
It's off again, Rob Burrow.
We can train all together in the gym and on the pitch every week, but...
Who was that?
To be honest, I am getting sick of seeing myself on TV. I'm going to lay low until Christmas and then get on with finding an effective treatment.
Mr. Robert Burrow.
I can honestly say that I never set out to be an inspiration. I just wanted to try and help other people in a similar situation to me. I enjoyed an incredible career in a sport I love. I've been fortunate through MND to have been able to help others, and that is something that I am proud to do.
Rob's best friend, Kevin Sinfield, called Rob superhuman, Superman, a beacon of hope. Their friendship had no bounds and together they raised over £5 million for MND charities. Today, Kevin led tributes to his friend alongside fans and players who gathered to remember him. Sally Hurst reports.
We all lose special people, but it's very, very rare you lose someone who's so special to so many different people.
The word inspirational is overused, but in Rob Burrow's case, absolutely warranted. Within hours of his death being announced, the flowers began piling up at Headingley's South Stand, the memories flooding back.
He's always been special to me, and 20,000 other people singing his name every Friday night. But I think in the last 5 years he's shown, not just the city, the region, the country, the world. You know, what an amazing man he was.
Stood on the terraces seeing this little scruffy kid come out, thinking, oh my goodness me, what have we got here? And then within 20-30 minutes you thought, we've got something special.
Born in September 1982, from an early age it was clear Rob had a talent for rugby league and a determination to go the extra mile.
They always used to say, oh, he's good, is that Rob, but he's never going to make it because he's not big enough.
He rose through the ranks of the Rhinos Academy and soon forged lifelong friendships with teammates including Kevin Sinfield and Jamie Jones-Buchanan. And at the heart of those friendships was humour.
We can train all together in the gym and on the pitch every week, but who was that? Oh, a right shot!
He spent 16 years with the Leeds Rhinos, helping them to victory in the 2017 Grand Final. But just 2 years after retiring, he was diagnosed with motor neurone disease, deciding to spend the rest of his life raising awareness of the disease, work for which he was awarded a CBE in January. Today, the current Leeds Rhinos squad lined up to pay their respects to Rob's mum, with players past and present sharing their memories.
And he had a gift, and he used that gift to find a purpose, and that purpose was to do what Rob did, be courageous, be world class.
He was always up to something and cracking jokes or pulling a prank on someone. So, yeah, you know, the fond memories, and you know, truly great person, and you know, he's always been a hero of mine.
Yeah, so brave, so tough. I wish he could have seen the outpouring of love. And as you can see, he's pretty raw still. He'll leave a massive hole. He was a special guy.
At his core, Rob was a family man. It was a big decision to show the impact of MND on him and his family, but it was a decision he took together with wife Lindsay.
And for Rob to kind of tell his story and raise such awareness at a time when he's at his most vulnerable, I think it takes a special person to do that. You know, he could have quite easily just shut the doors and said, right, my time is with my family now and this is my time, but he didn't. You know, he's worked tirelessly to raise awareness for the MND community, and just incredibly proud of Rob.
Pride, passion and purpose. Rob Burrow's life may have ended prematurely, but it was powerful.
Sally is with me now. Sally, as you mentioned there, powerful both on the pitch but off the pitch as well.
Yeah, I think with Rob Burrow, the word inspirational is sometimes lazily applied to people when we're talking about people with illness or living with disabilities, but in his case, it really feels genuine, because he didn't just make us feel warm and fuzzy, he went out and he made us do stuff. He run a marathon, raise money, care about MND, which an illness which before Rob and Doddy wasn't really talked about. So he really made a difference, and to get he did die prematurely and he'll be so sadly missed, but to get to his age and have achieved an incredible sporting career and made this huge difference to the MND community and raise awareness, I think is something very few of us could hope to do.
It certainly is, Sally, thank you. Well, we're joined now by one of those teammates who has been with Rob for his journey, Jamie Jones-Buchanan. Jamie, I'm so sorry for your loss. I know you've been down here all day today paying tribute to your friend. What do you make of this? How much comfort are you all taking from this show of support and love?
A great deal of encouragement, actually. You say it there, love is a verb, and what Rob did and has done has impacted so many lives, and you can see many of them behind me, and all the sentiment, the love that's been poured out at Headingley Stadium, just in remembrance of Rob and the impact that he's had on so many lives through his work campaigning MND, shining the light, banging the drum on the back of a wonderful playing career. Don't know, just 41, it's way too young. But Rob lived almost 2 fulfilled lives, and he inspired so many. You know, our mantra, our motto is to change lives through the power of sport. Well, Rob did that. several times over, and he'll never be forgotten.
I think as well as rugby league men, you're seen as strong, as burly, but the tenderness that you showed Rob from his diagnosis was so heartwarming.
Yeah, well, I've talked about courage all day. That's the lasting legacy for me in my mind when I wake up every day. There's always moments of anxiety, things I don't always want to do, but I have the courage to go do it. I think Rob played as one of the smallest players ever in Super League. I had a lot of doubt as a young kid, and people didn't believe he could play a burly game like rugby league, gladiatorial game, and he stood up and is world class because of it. And then that courage continued into a life, a second chapter that robbed him of all his physical ability, yet it never quite, and that courage in the voice that he had, he shouted even louder. And again, he just kept going, lived his life so publicly, and that was courageous.
Jamie, thank you.
Pleasure.
Well, we have heard from Rob's family today. In the last hour, we've had a statement from his wife, Lindsay. She says, "I was incredibly proud and fortunate to call Rob my husband, and that she was unbelievably proud of the campaigning he's done to raise awareness and the millions of pounds that's been raised in his name for MND charities." She goes on to thank everyone for their outpouring of love and support since Rob's diagnosis, and that they will continue to keep Rob's legacy alive. She says he was simply the best, our hero. Well, other members of Rob's family were at a groundbreaking ceremony today for that new MND centre that will be built in his name. Earlier I spoke to his parents and his sisters.
Buzzing in a sense, we didn't know whether we'd be strong enough, but it's Rob's strength that's keeping us all going. Lovely lad.
I said this is what Rob would want, and I think he'll be proud that we've pulled ourselves together and got the strength to come, and we're doing it for Lindsay and the kids, and he'll be looking down on us and he'll be going, thumbs up, Mum.
Yeah,
Dad,
definitely.
that's brilliant.
Yeah.
And this really is what he wanted, wasn't it? For you to be here?
Yeah, it's definitely signalled to us yesterday. We're talking about it, weren't we? And it must go ahead. So we knew it was definitely what he wanted.
It's amazing what a little man can achieve. You can achieve big things. You can get over, as Rob says, in a world full of adversity.
We must dare to dream.
We're dreaming of when this opens.
Before we did what he did for MND, he had something special. You just, when you see a special person, and he was, wasn't he?
He was, yeah.
He's certainly proved that the last 4 or 5 years in what he's achieved for the MND community. That's why we're here today.
Yeah. Exactly, it is, yeah. And Kevin, what a tremendous guy. He was so proud of Kev.
The world's a better place for people like Kevin and Rob.
What do you make of the outpouring of love that we've seen at Headingley Stadium?
Goodness.
It's just overwhelming, and in a weird way I've just done nothing but smile all morning. Look at all this, what people are doing for you, Rob. The outpouring of love and everybody's support is like unbelievable.
What a legacy for the thousands of families like Rob's to have somewhere that they can come as their sanctuary, as he called it.
To have this centre, they will feel it's their home, and that's what Rob wants. Not just a care centre, but a home where people can meet and talk and have laughs in their own way, because that's what Rob liked, laughing, and smiling. And it'll be there now.
Now, MND is debilitating. Currently, it's not known what causes it, and it's also not known if there's a cure. But it's fast, it's cruel, and it can be really lonely. Rob had a vision. Yes, he wanted to find a cure for MND, but he also wanted a place for people to call home, a place where other MND sufferers and their families could go and feel comfort. Well, today the ground was broken on the building work of that MND centre that will be in Rob's name. Kathy Killick reports.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The applause was heartfelt and still celebratory, despite the circumstances. Rob Burrow had hoped to be here to witness this milestone. That was not to be. But those nearest and dearest to him were among the hard hats and high-vis, gathered to watch his dream of an MND centre coming true. For his doctor, it's a highly emotional moment.
This is a place of hope, and it's a lasting legacy for Rob. I think he would be immensely proud that we have reached this day. And the fundraising and the speed at which the centre is being built, it is phenomenal. Yeah, I think I can see Rob's big smile there.
The current facilities for MND patients frankly shocked Rob. Narrow corridors, different levels and little privacy are unsuited to the multiple needs of MND patients, as the disease progressively robs them of the ability to walk, speak, move and breathe. The new £6.8 million centre will be much, much better.
You enter the building, it's level access from car park all the way through into the building and out into the gardens. So we never refer to it as having a waiting room. We don't have a selection of chairs that sits in a row whilst everyone's waiting for an appointment. What we've actually built is a little kitchen area, a lounge area, some private seating. We've even got areas for patients' family members, their children, to come in and do their homework.
We work very closely with the architects and people suffering from MND and their families, and it's about creating a space that's peaceful, offer holistic care. I heard the architects talking about a building that creates a hug for the family. It's going to be transformational. I mean, the team are brilliant here and they deserve better. The patients deserve better.
The final £1 million still needs to be raised. Fellow MND patient Ian Flatt is up for the challenge. He'll be climbing 7 mountains in the next few weeks, determined to help complete Rob's legacy.
There's a sadness of Rob, the sadness for his family. But at the same time, there's a feeling of joy, just because of what this day represents.
From a hole in the ground to a building that embraces people with an unimaginably difficult diagnosis. It'll be a legacy of caring from a man who built a team to make a difference. Cathy Killick, BBC Look North, Leeds.
Well, I'm joined now by Ian Flatt, who you just saw there in Cathy's piece. Ian, how much is this MND centre needed?
It's absolutely critical, Amy. You know, we need to be put at the centre of the care that we get. We've got such brilliant nurses and doctors, and they're trying to work with us and nurture us and, you know, give us some hope in a centre that we've seen is not fit for purpose. You know, as well as having to travel around the city to all points for different specialisms. It's just, and we've seen in this last 2.5 years since the appeal was launched, it's a beacon of hope. It's given us real hope, and you know, it's an awful thing to say, but we didn't have that before.
Yeah, and Kev and Rob have done that, haven't they?
They have it.
And how inspiring have they been for you? Because you've done your own challenges as well since Rob and Kev shone a light on MND.
I think they gave me the toolkit to do it. You and I spoke about this before. I was struggling. I was really lonely with it, and Rob changed that for me, and been honoured as I was that they invited me to be involved in a couple of, you know, the extra mile and things. It just spurred me on to want to do more, and they're such powerful individuals, beautiful human beings that have inspired all of us. They've inspired a whole community, inside, outside M&D, inside and outside rugby. They've inspired us all.
Yeah, they certainly have, and we'll be there when you do your next challenge in a few weeks' time. Thank you, Ian.
Thank you.
Good to see you. Well, we've talked a lot about Rob and MND, but let's focus now on his achievements as a player. He had a 17-year rugby league career that included winning 8 Super League Grand Finals, 3 World Cup challenges and 2 Challenge Cups. We asked one of his former teammates to talk us through his highlights.
And you'd always back Burrow in those circumstances, and Rob Burrow gliding in.
Rob Burrow, 523 matches, 8 Grand Final wins, 3 World Cup Challenge victories, 2 Challenge Cup final wins. When he first started playing, the speed of him frightened the middle to death. They couldn't handle him because they used to running into big men, and they just couldn't handle him, and he came on and sparked every game he played in.
This kid's got great pace, and he sees a little gap, and he only needs to be a little gap with this bloke because he's not that tall. I think he's about 4'1".
Rob Burrow just high energy, fully committed. I'd say he's arguably one of the more mentally tough players ever to play the game, because in every attribute of the game he was lighter, he was smaller, he had to find a way of doing it, and at times he had some real tests. He had some real tests within the game, but he always came out on top.
we just matter of finding it, and there is no better time to find it in the final, and we did tonight.
The memory of 2011 was Leeds were really under the pump. It was almost a nothing pass. They gave the ball to Rob and didn't really expect much from anything from it, and he's bobbed and weaved and got in between them. Came up with arguably the best grand final try ever.
If he's not there, James with a despairing dive. What a finish from Rob Burrow.
The 2017, I think you're always hoping that players like Rob get a send-off and a fairy tale. For him to sign out on that note was fitting, really, fitting throughout his career.
We've been mates for years, and we've been through a lot together, and to end it with that champion of a guy, I'm really honoured.
Leeds Rhinos, the 2017 Super League champions.
If the word legends bound around a lot, it's certainly worth it and right for Rob to be called that.
Well, we're joined now by former Rugby League players Danica Prim and Richie Mathers, who also played alongside Rob Burrow. Danica, we hear of a legend, Rob was a legend, but what made him so special as a player?
I think you just knew where he was, you knew who he was. He was the person that you doubted but always came up with the spoils at the end. He was the man, as a fan, that you wanted with the ball at the end of the set because you knew he'd do something special with it. You know, a small man in stature but just phenomenal on the field.
And what about you, Richie? What was he like as a teammate? Because we hear about the pranks that he had in the dressing room.
Yeah, he was definitely the prankster of the dressing room, and just brought the energy every day. Your training gear or your boots, were never safe, and he was always the culprit. But you know, just a great teammate. You know, we're sorely missed, and yeah, it's just a very somber day.
Yeah, it certainly is. And how will you best remember him, Danica, very briefly?
He's taught me to be stronger, to be more resilient, and to live life to the absolute fullest, both himself, Lindsay, the children, Macy, Maya and Jackson. Take every second and live it to the fullest you can.
Yeah, certainly. Thank you both. Well, as you heard there, it's been a really emotional day. There's been a steady stream of supporters coming in and out of the ground, and we spoke to some of them earlier who wanted to pay their own tributes.
And I just loved watching him over the years, and he was a colossus on the pitch, and he was even a bigger man off the pitch as well with what he's done for the MND. It's fantastic.
He's beep beep, you know, little rocket, and you know, just got to come down and pay your respect to him.
We saw him when he was 16, running on the pitch there, and I said to Jeff, "Who was that little boy?" I want to take him home because he looked so tiny, but he was so quick and he was so good, and he's just blossomed since then.
I did the half marathon this year and I'm doing the full marathon again next year, and I think it's just such an inspiration to everyone, and yeah, the legacy will live on.
Well, it's certainly been a beautiful day here at Headingley Stadium. Let's hear what the rest of the week has in store. Here's Paul with the forecast.
Well, thanks so much. A bit of a mixed week to come. I think tomorrow's going to be the iffy day, cloudy with some patchy outbreaks of rain spreading down from the northwest. Wednesday through to Friday, including next weekend, looks basically fine. There will be one or two showers around, but temperatures will be a little bit on the disappointing side. But certainly tomorrow we have got some rain that's going to push in from the west, courtesy of these two weather fronts. But behind it, a broad west to northwesterly. It will bring one or two showers in, but essentially it looks mostly fine, some sunshine, but as I say, it will be cool, especially at night. Now you can see on the satellite picture actually the cloud has broken up quite nicely, especially away from the Pennines, so there should be some sunshine around in places through this evening, and then overnight it looks broadly dry, although cloud will increase. That cloud bringing just a little bit of sort of light rain and drizzle mainly to the Pennines, West Yorkshire, northwards. Elsewhere it looks set to remain dry, and another mild night will see lows around 10 or 11 degrees. So a drizzly start across the Pennines. Elsewhere it's dry. There could be some sunshine across parts of South Yorkshire and East Yorkshire. The high water times tomorrow in Scarborough around about 3 o'clock. So the sequence moves forward, a lot of cloud. That cloud will thicken through the morning, bringing those outbreaks of rain in. As that weather front clears, there could be one or two quite sharp thundery downpours. But notice northwest Yorkshire by the end of the afternoon becomes brighter with some sunshine. And we're looking at top afternoon temperatures around 16 or 17 degrees, and then through Tuesday evening that weather front moves out of the way, so becoming quite sunny across North and West Yorkshire, eventually South Yorkshire seeing some sunshine, so it may well be the best of tomorrow's weather will be through the evening. Further ahead then, Wednesday through to Friday, and for much of the weekend there's always a risk of 1 or 2 showers, but fairly disappointing temperatures for early June, and there could be just a touch of grass frost in more sheltered locations. Amy, back to you at Headingley.
Paul, thank you. Well, we're here at Headingley Stadium this evening to pay tribute to Rob Burrow, a rugby league legend, a campaigner, a family man. He lost his battle with MND at the age of 41, but he will be immortalised in that new MND centre that has been left in his name, his legacy. Over £5 million raised by him and his friend Kevin Sinfield for MND charities. Rob was a beacon of hope, as we've been hearing tonight, and as we end the programme we send our love and condolences to Lindsay and their children, and we leave you with some of the viewers' tributes. Good night.
He was my favourite all-time rugby player.
Rob Burrow, a sensational solo try.
Legend on the pitch, hero off it.
Rob's probably the most inspirational bloke in the UK at this moment in time. He's inspired us all to be better friends.